The main event of this year's WrestleMania 30 has a big question mark in it. Welcome back, everyone. This is the part 8, last part of my WrestleMania 30 series breakdown, talking about the main event. We've got Batista, who won the Royal Rumble, #1 contender, against Randy Orton, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, against question mark. Yeah, there's only, in theory, there's only 2 options. Okay, that could happen. We have to wait and see who wins the Triple H versus Daniel Bryan match earlier on in the evening. Okay? Now, most fans, I think, are going the easy way out on this. And I was too, honestly, at first. Oh, Daniel Bryan's getting the match he wants. He's going to beat Triple H, go on to the main event, and beat Orton and Batista. Period. The Yes Movement wins. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone's happy. End of WrestleMania 30. Really? Do you think it's really going to get pulled off that easy? Now, if it does, it does. You know, majority of the fans out there are behind Daniel Bryan. Not everyone is, though. Some people can't stand him. I have a lot of respect for him. I love Daniel Bryan. I've loved him for a long time. This is a guy who has paid his dues and deserves to be champion for at least a while. You know, he deserves a good title run, and I think this is his year. This is his time. But then all of a sudden, you know, after the whole Occupy thing, you know, Triple H throws his hat in the ring, saying he's going to beat Daniel Bryan, and it's not the end of the story there, you know. So then it just would end up being, you know, Batista versus Orton the way it originally was planned. No, Triple H throws his hat in the ring and says, I will be WWE champion, and I will be the only worthy champion around. Because like you said, he's sick of guys from Hollywood coming back and, you know, taking spots, and then, you know, looking at Orton and saying he's tired of whiny champs that need their hand held and can't do anything on their own. You know, and I've said that, honestly, since Orton's been champ. Orton's been a horrible champ. He really has. He hasn't been the legend killer. He hasn't been the Viper. He's been a whiny little bitch. And I like Orton. Orton's come back from a lot. You know, he screwed up a lot and had to pretty much crawl his way back to the top of the WWE, and that's where he is now. But now that he's there, it's not the same guy. I hate what they've done with him. So there's Orton, and you look at Batista. You know, Batista's one of those guys, mega popular some years ago, and I've got a fair amount of respect for him. He's not like some of these guys that come back and just do the part-time gig and then are gone. You know, he's back. He's doing at least a 2-year deal, and it's a full-time deal. And he's not wrestling on every single show, but he is doing more than just pay-per-views. He's wrestling on Raw. He's wrestling on SmackDown, which is great to see, you know. So, okay, props to Batista. And I think people were excited about that to a point. They just didn't want to see him in the main event. So then, okay, and then you look at Daniel Bryan. Well, his whole thing since SummerSlam and being squashed and buried and all this stuff has just built his popularity like no one else that I have ever seen before. You know, you see little fads here and there catch on, and you know, like the Fandangoing, you know, all that stuff, and this is ridiculous. You know, it's catching on worldwide. They've got, you know, magazines getting interviews with him, you know, in the WWE and all this stuff. And it's been really fun to watch, and to have it culminate at one of the biggest shows of the year, WrestleMania 30. You know, and you look at Triple H. He's been at the top. You know, they call him the game. Well, he's been at the top of his game lately. He's been one of those guys that you just, he comes out all snarky, you know, cuddling with his wife on his way down to the ring, and just hate him. The guy you love to hate. Unless you love him, whatever. He is playing a great role, and I think the Daniel Bryan Triple H match will be a great lead up to the main event. So like I said, you can break it down easy. You could say, all right, now I'm not picking a winner here, okay? I'm just throwing out some different options. Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wins, goes on to the main event, beats Orton and Batista. Yes, movement is successful. Yes, yes, yes. Everyone's happy. Done. Now, as exciting as that is, and however they play it out, fine. But it's fun to mess with it. It's fun to twist it. It's fun to throw other things in there. You call it fantasy booking, whatever you want to call it. Let's say Daniel Bryan loses his match against Triple H, and Triple H goes on to the main event against Batista and Randy Orton, and everyone's hopes are just, you know, where's the beer line, you know? Time to go get another beer. People are pissed off, and all of a sudden the No Chance in Hell theme kicks in. Vinnie Mac comes out strutting his ass off. He brings Daniel Bryan down to the ring with him and throws him in the main event. It becomes a fatal four-way. Daniel Bryan wins, everyone's happy. So there's another scenario. What if... Now this throws a whole nother twist in there. Over the last few days, people have been bringing up the options of, or scenarios, however you want to say it. What if CM Punk shows up at WrestleMania? There's a lot of people that think he is truly going to show up at WrestleMania 30, the show of shows. You know, it's like, oh, what? Well, wouldn't he want to be put in a match and have a decent build-up? CM Punk fans go, we don't need no stinking match. Just throw him in the main event. We don't need no rivalry. Just put him in there. What if CM Punk comes out during the Triple H match with Daniel Bryan? Helps Daniel Bryan win somehow. Daniel Bryan goes on to the main event and wins. Okay. Be great. Ooh, Punk's back, yay. what if CM Punk interferes, helps Triple H win? What if CM Punk comes out and is Triple H's safety net, helps him win against Daniel Bryan? And then somehow, Vinnie Mac comes out, like I said earlier, brings out Daniel Bryan to the main event. And, chaos ensues. Daniel Bryan wins. Yes. We could go on all night and talk about what ifs. And as fun as it is to do this, sometimes when you start thinking about this stuff, you get yourself so psyched up, so riled up, you start expecting too much. And I've done that recently at some pay-per-views. You're like, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened? And then your typical ending happens, and you're like, and then you're like, you're left thinking, oh, this was boring as hell. You can't do that, Not telling you what you can and can't do. I'm just saying you shouldn't, This is the WWE we're talking about. This is the biggest show of the year. Sometimes they do pull off some shenanigans. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they go with the, just a clean win, keeping it safe. I like to look at what was probably one of the most, for lack of better words, I'll just throw it out there and say it was a dangerous ending, or controversial, or whatever you want to call it. One of my favorite endings, I think it was the, The Rock versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania. The second time they wrestled, and Vinnie Mac came out and helped Stone Cold win, and Stone Cold went heel, turned bad, joined the corporation, authority, whatever they called themselves, back then, the Alliance, whatever it was, I forget. But yeah, Vince McMahon came down and helped. Something like that would be epic, and have CM Punk involved. Yeah, I hope he comes back. I'm a big fan of his, but I'm not gonna get myself so riled up that if he doesn't show up, it's gonna wreck my WrestleMania, because this is the one match a lot of people are gonna be, throwing that what if factor out there. Some are, some aren't. I am, but I'm not gonna let it, wreck my night. So, yeah, I'm not picking a winner on this one. I may not even pick a winner when I get to my prediction video for this one, just because there are that many factors, of what could or could not happen at the main event. Because it's the show of shows. You want something big to happen. So, Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. And one of them goes on to the main event. I can't wait to watch this. Thanks for watching the whole series, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I had fun talking about it. The prediction video will be coming out soon, within the next day or so. And that'll be fun to do. Can't wait for Sunday. Alright, thanks for watching.